going on, guys? So out in the garage drinking an ice cold Keystone, of course, waiting for Max to get here. If you guys don't remember, Max was at my house before along with Jack of Dirty Max Jack. Max had a bit of an issue. So Max ran too much oil pressure and destroyed his brand new Borg Warner S366, which actually happens to be the same turbo I run here on my Supra. So I told Max, look, shit happens. He didn't know how much oil pressure to run. It is what it is. So I told him, I said, look, I'll tell you which kit to get. I'll send you the link to order it. If you get it, bring it down. I'll rebuild it for you. It's very, very basic. I think once he gets down here and sees what you have to do to rebuild one of these turbos, he's going to be like, bro, this is stupid easy. But yeah, I think anyone can really do this kind of stuff. So just waiting for him to show up. But while I'm waiting, I'm working on the MR2, which you guys are probably tired of this car and wanting to see more of this. But I'm waiting on parts and I have this readily available. Plus there's a bunch of stuff I need to get done for this to get it right. I need to get the wheels, everything back on. I need to bleed the brakes. I need to do all this stuff, get it done so I can get it all buttoned up and get it ready for, well, driving again. I'm waiting for the Toyota master cylinder here. So if you guys can see, I went ahead and removed the stock one. The reasoning for that is you need to run a 4Runner master cylinder with this. I shouldn't say you need to. It's highly suggested that you run a 4Runner master cylinder because you use a 1-inch bore. I believe the stock one uses a 3/4-inch bore. That little bit of difference gives you better brake feel. It doesn't feel squishy, especially when you go to Willwoods, the bigger brakes. It makes it much, much better. So yeah, I've decided to go to that and just waiting for it to show up. But while I'm waiting, I figured let's go ahead and remove everything, get it ready, get the car back up. Yeah, so it's pretty much there. Got all the signals out now. Starting to remove the front bumper here, as you guys can see, which when Toyota built this, they did not design the Supra, I swear to God, because the Supra is so easy to get the front bumper off of. It's not nearly as rigid. I will say, like, this bumper's not going anywhere. Like, you don't need any of the under tray plastics, any of that stuff. Like, with the Supra, the front bumper, even though it's pretty braced, it still can move. Like this, and I have, look, I got all those bolts removed. I mean, if I didn't, the top part here does not move. This thing does not move whatsoever, which is kind of crazy because the Supra's, I mean, I got it bolted up pretty well. I've got it braced throughout, and I've got, I don't know, about 20 bolts missing from it, and it's still that rigid. Kind of, it's a good thing, but it's also a pain because apparently you've got all these bolts right here. Then there's bolts underneath the headlight here I got to figure out how to get to. I think you got to get from underneath. Then I have to get some more that are right under here. Figure out how the, well, I guess I got to figure out how the hell the fog lights come out. Bruh, I'm finding out more and more stuff here. So, yeah. The whole reason for the bumper to come off is for these guys right here. So, got to get those filled. Plus, the bumper, front bumper's a little chipped and it's like peeling. If you see down here at all, it's like peeling here. It just could be better, and thank you to Blue Balls, the guys who painted the Supra here for me. They said they'd take care of it. They do a partial sponsorship, you know, they'll do everything for cost. Which is pretty awesome of him. I've been very, very appreciative of all that. So I'll link all his stuff down below for you guys to check him out. But yeah, so go ahead and get this bumper off once I figure out what bolts that needs, and wait for Max's ass to show up sometime today. Fucking kids, get to work, Max! Guys, one thing I want to say is fuck this car. Like, dude, why does it have 8,000 bolts to hold on the front bumper? So there is 1, 2, 3 here, 1 screw here. There's 2 bolts right here. There's 2 bolts under the headlight. There is, what was there, 5 bolts here. There is 6 rivets under here. There was an under tray that had to be removed. I haven't even got to the other side yet. Like, why the fuck is there that many? My Supra does not have even close to that. Not even remotely close that holds it. There's literally 2 studs over here that hold it on. And then it's hanging from the top up here by some plastic clips. Another 2 bolts there. And then it has bracing underneath here. The rest of this is all free floating. Why the fuck, MR2, do you have all that shit under there? I can tell you this much. When that bitch goes back on, half of them motherfuckers ain't going back on. I ain't bolting them back on. Unless, there's no way. Because, so these 2 here, I feel like they're not going to, maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know if the panels won't fit right. So a lot of these are, I've removed a ton on this. I don't know if I remove them, is it going to distort it in any way or not, but it just seems like a lot of overkill bolt-wise. I'm having an issue, of course, once again, with the bolt that's right here. I got the first one here, and I got these 2 off, but the one that's right here directly, yeah, it's not wanting to come off. So I got to figure out how to get that one off and then start the other side. Max should be here soon, so I'm kind of taking a break because I still got to rebuild his turbo yet tonight and then wake up at the crack of dawn for work. Lucky me. All right, as Max has his back to me right now. Max showed up here. His turbo's on the table, but Max, we have some bad news, don't we?
I threw my phone because of how pissed I got. If you guys could see, it's smashed.
Yeah, this is not good.
It hit the Supra.
He's lying. That would never happen. I would probably murder him. He wouldn't be standing here right now. There'd be blood over the ground. But this did happen. If you guys can see here, we have our new bearings right here, which are pretty.
Nice
look at that. Look at Max for the win.
I'm working.
He's working here. Get to work, Max.
All right, relax. We're not getting into that right now. I'm not in the mood right now because of this whole scenario. But
so here's the problem. Here's the exhaust side of the bearing. You guys can see how much heat is in that bad boy. Unfortunately,
here you can just freaking shine in the light.
If you guys can see there, see all the heat that was in that? Not good. Here's the intake side, perfectly fine. So something is clogging the front or the rear of the housing and causing a ton of heat to get back there. Big problem because that's actually in part of the casting, which you can't get in the actual turbo itself. So it's going to need to be flushed. But the second issue is, even if I wanted to try and throw a bearing in, the brand new bearings that he ordered, unfortunately, the jackass that sent him the wrong bearings or the wrong height or the wrong width. The clearances are not correct. They're actually smaller than what these ones here that have been used already. So these are no good to us, which kind of sucks. I kind of feel bad for Max here as
It's a shame. I'm making an Instagram post about it. I'm tagging you. So.
Yeah. He's upset, guys. He drove 2 hours to get here, which I didn't realize they live 2 hours away. They drove 2 hours to get. Well, he drove. He kind of just hung out and just did nothing.
I bought the food.
He bought the food. So you know what? He bought the food. So I mean, that kind of makes up for it. But yeah, drove 2 hours and the whole turbo's apart. I'm ready to throw it in. It took me 10 minutes to get it apart, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to happen tonight. I'm gonna have to pretty much give him this stuff back in a couple bags so he can separate everything and keep everything together. But he's gonna have to send this brand new stuff back to the sellers he bought it from and go from there. It sucks because I sent him the link. I've bought from him before, rebuilt my S366 off of it, no issue. But the problem is they sent him the wrong stuff. Sorry, Max. As much as I love you, buddy, you're gonna have to send it back. Look at that face.
I know. I'm like about to cry, dude. I'm just gonna go cry on the Supra.
Go ahead and cry on the Supra. You can dream about it, think about it. All right, guys. Well, Max has left now. I'm glad he got to stop by, but cleaned up everything. And what I went ahead and started to do, shouldn't say start to, got the bumper off, which thanks to Max and his little arms, he was able to get one of the bolts I couldn't get, and he got the rest off. Just an FYI, fuck this bumper. This thing is incredibly painful to get on and off, and this thing was even missing some clips. So the clips that actually, let's flip this up here. The clips that actually go under here, these plastic ones were missing, and I guess there's two bolts I think that go into the top of the, I guess the floodlights, whatever you call them. They were missing also, so yeah. And this thing has definitely been repainted because look at all this, guys. Well, you already know all the overspray there, but look at all this, overspray, overspray, overspray. Here's the fluid tank, overspray, overspray, overspray on all the shock arms. Like, it's horrible. Yeah, I'm eventually gonna have to paint the whole car, but once again, this isn't my baby. This is, I'd rather, if I'm gonna paint a car, this will be it. I'm gonna put a ton of money into this eventually. This is supposed to be fun. Another toy, which my wife is starting to notice that she's getting a little expensive, but it's all in the fun. It's all part of the game. But yeah, so that's all off. Next up is I want to see, I have this chrome emblem on here now, which is factory. But what I do have is I have 3 stock Supra emblems, which are like a dark graphite color. I think that would look much better, especially on the white. I think that would look better than this chrome. That's my opinion. I want to know what your opinion is, guys, on that. As obviously I'm gonna have this resprayed, these holes will be filled. I'm getting all this, getting it all worked out and getting it to look sharp again. So I figure while I'm doing that, might as well put on a proper emblem. I'm not going to shave this car like I did that. There's times I wish I wouldn't have, so I'm gonna keep the stock emblem on this car, keep the nice graphite, or I'll put this chrome emblem back on. The back too, I believe, has a chrome one. Yep. But this one actually has a curvature with it for the actual back, so I can't use one back here. So that kind of throws it off. Then, well, it'll be all right. So yeah, let me know, guys. There would have to be a chrome one in the back, and I'd have a graphite one in the front. So let me know what you guys think about that. So the amount of rust. Now, I guess this is surface rust, and this isn't bad, but I'm used to the Supra, which the crash bars on it are aluminum, so it can't rust. And this car itself is very, very clean. This wasn't even driven much, but I guess the time and quality in these is totally different than MR2. I mean, I'm just seeing a lot of like just rust areas. I feel like most that I see, even low mileage, have rust problems. I'm not sure if this is an MR2 issue or what, but if you can see here, it's a little crusty, leaves everywhere, and looks like there was a hornet's nest someone was building at one time that I'll have to knock out here. But besides that, it's just little things. So yeah, we should be good to go and get this off to Beavers for paint. And then I need a poll for this. Do I keep the trim silver or do I paint it white? I do have a JDM solid side marker coming. Thank God someone's switching me. So there'll be a solid side marker there. There will no longer be a light, but I can either remove all the trim, have it painted white, or leave it the silver. I'm like really torn because the inclination of having the silver is saying it's a turbo model, which I kind of like. You know, you can roll down the road and go, oh, boom. If it's another MR2 guy, he goes, yep, that's a turbo model. You can point it out. I kind of like that fact. The other side of me is the late model, I believe 96 and up, 96, 99s, had all the trim already painted white. That was just what they did. And I believe back here, it said twin cam turbo. I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm kind of like, what do I do here? So need your feedback on that, guys. Paint it white or keep it silver or gray, whatever you call this. Let me know down in the comments below. One thing I'm probably gonna do too, maybe I'll get some hate for this, but just noticing working on the front bumper, this giant windshield wiper washer fluid tank here, which is massive, gets in the way. And who uses their windshield wiper fluid? Like, come on. Like, I removed it on my Supra right away. Almost every Supra guy has that removed almost right away just because it's in a crappy spot. It blocks intercooler piping, so you pretty much have to remove it on these cars. But if you have one of these cars, you're not driving in the rain. Number two, who uses them? Like, I rarely use them on my daily driver, but maybe, hey, when it snows, I will say use it because the windshield turns like a white-gray color from all the salt in the road, all that kind of stuff. But besides that, I never use it, and these cars sure as fuck ain't gonna see any of that. So yeah, I'm thinking about just keeping it, or removing that, I should say, and go from there. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this. I was really, really happy to work with Max. We're gonna be doing more here in the future. He might even be stopping by this weekend as we're gonna have to finish up the turbo. Unfortunately, the bearings for it, as you saw, didn't fit. So he's trying to get a hold of the manufacturer as soon as possible to get that fixed. So if you guys could, please do me a favor, go down below, check out my Facebook, Instagram, and I also have my website, which is live with t-shirts and hats. I try to get things shipped out as fast as possible. So please, guys, if you want to, I'm going to try to lower the prices on some of my shirts here too, try and help you guys out. So thank you guys very much, and I will talk to you later.